Okay, everybody, I am back from an estate sale. It is so cold. I've made a decision. Fridays. Friday's going to be my day to talk to you, whether live, whether like this, because I'm going to be babysitting here in a little bit, but I wanted to get this out. I wanted to get it started Fridays, so you can carry me onto your weekend, and let's begin the next week with lots of information and encouragement. Right? Let's do this. I don't have a name for this, and the only thing I could think of would be Friday recap, but everybody uses that. But there are some things that we need to discuss. I just saw this morning. So Prada is buying Versace for $1.38 billion. And that's a big deal. And there's something at the end of this that I didn't know. And so I'm going to just skip it all. But we all know that Donatella Versace stepped down, about a month ago, after being the head for almost 30 years. So she stepped down. Obviously, I think she probably knew this was happening and was coming. So Prada agreed to buy Versace, and in cash, 1.38 billion in cash from the US-based Capri Holdings, which currently owns Jimmy Choo and Michael Kors. And I'm sorry, my nose is red. It is that cold. Cold outside. So here we go. They honored, of course, Donatella and on her stepping down, and she said that she was thrilled that another Italian company was taking over a brand. Let me see if I can find her exact words. She is honored to see her family's legacy placed into the hands of another trusted Italian family business. And at the end of this is what kind of got me, and I didn't know. So Paris Titans, Louis Vuitton, and Kering have snapped up Italian luxury brands including Fendi, Gucci, and Bulgari for more than 2 decades, giving France more control over the global market of luxury handbags. This Versace purchase of Prada is Italian's biggest fashion group to better compete, but still on the incline. So Louis Vuitton is worth about 20 times Prada per Bloomberg. So I didn't know all this. And a lot of times when we talk about brands, we're talking about, a singular brand. For instance, what do we have? We have Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy. But we don't ever really think of them as all being the same company. They're all corporate. And then there's another huge chain of restaurants, and I forget what global company that they're under, but they include Olive Garden and a few others like that. But now it just seems like there's going to be a little bit of a competition between the French handbags and the Italian, which I prefer Italian handbags over the French any day, but that is just me. So these are the things that we're going to discuss on Friday. We're going to discuss retail. We're going to discuss things that are happening. We're going to discuss our sales, and then we're going to discuss me and what's going on in my journey, because that is the number one reason that I started going live and putting things on, is because I am a single income influencer and a single income reseller. I do not have a husband, a mom, a dad. I don't have anything helping me on this journey. So there is no extra income for me, per se, like a retirement income, which isn't a lot. But there's nobody working. There's nobody else doing the health care or the health insurance for me. There is nothing. And there are so many single income people out there, male and female alike, that are really working towards the goal without the benefit of the padding below, of the assist or the help or the, it's not that bad because so-and-so's bringing in 42,000, or I'm living in mom's basement and I'm not paying any bills and that affords me to do a lot more with my money. So here we are. And I don't really have a name for this. If you guys have a cute little name, whatever, that's fine. But if not, we're just going to do this and we're just going to move forward. So I want to leave my what's going on with me at the end. But I wanted to ask a couple questions. When is the last time you guys have been to a mall? Do you even have malls in your area? Just recently, I'm from St. Louis. They tore down one mall. It was at one time one of the greatest malls in the area, and they have totally it's gone. And along with it went a Dillard's and a Cheesecake Factory, and then the mall had gone and deteriorated so much that they were renting out to I'm going to say just fly by night, places, and just kind of like fill a hole, and it didn't work. And because people don't flock to malls like they used to. The malls used to be where we went to get everything. Like you walked in and you could get your pretzels and your soda, and you could drink, and you could visit Victoria's Secrets, and you could go to Von Maur or Dillard's, or, then there was, your little sports store. I mean, everything was there. But now everything is here. Everything is on the internet now. And that is where people are flocking to. And that's where we're at. And that's a good thing. But I wanted to know when the last time was you were in a mall. For me, it's been years. The closest I came was a couple weeks ago. I went with my daughter to, what are those called? Like an outdoor mall, but it was like a discount place. I can't think of the name of it right now. But yeah. And I just kind of haven't been. I had to return something to Kohl's recently to send back to Amazon. And I don't usually look around too much unless I'm looking for the grandkids or something. And I said, you know what? I need a new pair of stretch pants, and stupid leggings, but I like flare. And I found a pair, and they weren't even a brand name. I think the brand was Tech Gear. And I was like, oh, these are cool. I really like them. $30. It wasn't even a brand. No, I am not paying $30 for your store brand, off brand. But they were really cool, but nope, I'm not doing that. I can get my clothes elsewhere. I get a lot of my clothes when I'm thrifting, but I have not been able to find the kind of stretch pants that I want. And I just keep looking. So with all that being said, this is why reselling works, is because we offer a product to customers that normally, if they would walk into Kohl's, they would be paying $30, and maybe they had a $10 off coupon, they'd be paying $20, but we're going to offer tech for $18 or whatever. So we offer something that not every person can get. And the other thing that we offer, just like I said, I have been looking for a pair of stretch pants for me, and I kind of want the flare. And it's not real popular right now. Everything's skinny or straight. And I can go on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and I can find what I'm looking for because someone else has found it for me. And that's what we do. We are finding things for people that they cannot find. Or we have that vintage item that maybe, they wore when they were whatever and they're looking for it again. Or that item that they spilled wine down the front of and they can't get the stain out, but they love that shirt and we just happen to offer it for them. So that's what we do. That is what that's what we do. And that's why we shouldn't I guess we'll go into what is going on with me. I mean, I have had so many low offer. I mean, it's almost like I've been bombarded. I will have a $40 item and I'm literally getting like an $8 offer. Are you kidding? So what I do with those is I immediately counter back. I don't decline right away. I counter back, and I usually give my standard 10%. And then if they come back with another stupid, $10 or whatever, I just ignore them. I don't respond anymore. I don't decline it. I just ignore it because, and I heard Chris at Peak say this, they're not where I'm at, and they're way down here and they're looking, I'm sorry about the gloves. I'm just really still cold. and they're down here and we're up here. This is our asking price. It's not a horrible asking price, it's a reasonable asking price, but they're shopping down here. So let them find it down here. I'm sure that they will find somebody, and it may be not as nice, and maybe the feedback on that person isn't as good. And if they want to take a chance on that, let them. But if they want to know that they're getting a good product, if they want to know that they're getting from somebody who has the feedback, who has the sales, who has, the pictures and the descriptions, then come on, bring it on. I'm ready to sell it. But yeah, this week has been crazy for me with low offers. This probably, believe it or not, has been my slowest week in 2025 so far. I do my stats every week, and so last week was really low. I was sad, but we can't judge it on just that week. I know that my weekends are way better than my week. I don't know why, but that's how it's been. So I'm just looking for those sales to pick up this weekend or next weekend, which is what, holidays. So I don't know, but we all know Posh raised their shipping, and I put out a video earlier about it, and I really thought my Posh sales would dive. They did opposite. My Posh sales have risen more than eBay's. I was shocked. And they're still, I sold 2 things on Poshmark just a little bit ago. I'm shocked, but I'll take it. I don't know why or what's going on, but I will definitely accept it. And how's your weather? Our weather here has been crazy. Hence, I am still freezing. I had to stand outside for a little while because this guy, I got there honestly about an hour early because it was closer than I thought. And so I waited in my car, and this guy pulls up like crazy about 30 minutes after me, and he jumps out of his car and he tries to get in, and they don't let him. So he's standing there this whole time, and I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna stay here on my phone. And then I realized other people are coming. I'm like, I gotta get out. And it was so cold, and the wind is blowing. And yesterday was amazing. I think it was close to 70. Today, I don't know, it was 46. It's just so cold. So I'm taking me a bit to warm up, but and oh yes, I want to tell you, but I might have to save it for next week. But I am using a cross lister, and it's not the one you've been hearing about. And I'm using this one because it fits into what I need. And it is not a slam against the other one, because I'm going to tell you what, the other one is like the queen of all cross listers. And if you want to go that way, go that way, but for me, the one that I've chosen, and I will tell you about it, maybe I'll do something this week and tell you about it. I don't want to get into it now. I've already been talking for 13 minutes, but yeah, but I will let you know, and I'll tell you about it, and I'll tell you about a new feature that they've just added, and it just works for me. And it isn't as expensive, but it's not even a little bit, it's more work. And that's the trade-off. You're either going to pay for the automation, or you're going to not pay, but you're going to be the automation. And that's just the way it is. And I just realized I don't have my earbud on, so hopefully you guys can hear me very well. But that's kind of it today. I kind of, what do you think? What do you guys think about Fridays? I told you about my sales. I've had some crazy, things. Oh, the estate sale today. I spent $44. I might go back tomorrow, but tomorrow is just an insane day for me. I'm just not going to be able to breathe until after probably 3 or 4. But I picked up a few tchotchke things, and then I picked up a few gems, and I'm going to show you a couple of them, and maybe I'll do that, later on. Like I said, I don't want to talk on here all day, and I don't want to keep you all day. That's part of it too. We're going to talk a little bit. We're not going to talk all day. I'm going to try not to drag things on and off. I'm going to try to stay at 15 minutes, which is where I'm at. You guys have a great day, a great week. carry it on. Carry the positivity on until Monday, and I will see you later. Have a great day. Bye.